Hi guys, I am back. And no, this is not a prank. I'm actually back and I'm going to be making weekly videos here on YouTube again. I know a lot of you are new to this channel and this is kind of your first experience with me with a YouTube video, but I also know that a lot of you have been here since I started growing my channel. With that being said, I have been off YouTube for so long. A lot of people have asked where my videos have gone and I privated all of them because the content that I want to be making now is a little bit different than what I used to make before. I'm gonna go through at some point and sort of pick and choose what I want to be public, but until I do that, I just wanted to make everything private so that things weren't cluttered or mismatching with each other. I don't know. I have a plan for this video, but before I get into the core of the video, I just wanna kind of explain where I've been, what's been happening with my life, where I'm at right now, and ultimately why I am choosing to return to YouTube. The very first thing that I want to say is that the content that I'm planning on making now is different than the content that I used to make. I used to make a lot of fashion, try-on content, and I'm still interested in doing that. I primarily do it on Instagram and TikTok, but I wanted my content on YouTube to be longer form, discussion-based talking videos similar to the content that I make on TikTok. Otherwise, I just want to say welcome if you're brand new and hello again if you've been here for a long time. All right, let's get into it. The reason I left YouTube. So many of you that were watching me during the time that I left may remember I got very sick. I was one of the people who had a very unlucky bad reaction to the Pfizer vaccine. I spent 6 months basically bedridden. I developed a heart issue, nervous system issues. I was having hypoglycemia symptoms even though I didn't have hypoglycemia. Anyway, I couldn't do anything. I was basically on the couch or in bed for 6 months straight. After that, as many of you also probably know, my fiance ended up breaking up with me in a way that I think I've been very candid and pretty shameless in saying online was very bizarre and hurtful. Obviously, leading up to that breakup, he was acting very weird and I was really unhappy. It's hard when you're struggling so much in your personal life to take care of others and sort of be like that icon that people want you to be. It was really hard to come on camera and like put on a happy face or even find the motivation to do much of anything on camera. Once he told me that he didn't want to be with me anymore, there were probably 4 months before the next stage of my life, which again, many of you already know, which was me moving to Miami. But those 4 months were absolute hell. We were still living together. And because I didn't understand why he was breaking up with me after 8 years together, I was trying very hard to get him to reconsider or at least talk to me about what was going on. Again, I was just in a place where I had no space in my brain to do anything online or take care of anybody else. And so even though throughout this period I was attempting to come back to YouTube and create content, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Obviously during this time after I got better from the health issues, I started on TikTok and that was easy because it was short form content and I found a lot of success there. I started making more money there and so my focus just shifted to TikTok. I thought there was no point in coming back to YouTube. So after the breakup, I ended up moving to Miami. I ended up meeting my now boyfriend who I've been with for a little over a year. A lot of you who follow me on Instagram or on TikTok have seen that we do a lot of things together. We love doing like everything together. And last but not least, I'm actually starting a loungewear company now. So a lot of things have happened. If you guys want to follow the process of the loungewear company, it will launch in about a month. It's called Honeydew Lounge and I'll put it right here. So I thought long and hard about what this first video should be. I wanted it to be something that was helpful, not necessarily entertaining, but something that people could extract a lot of value from. And I think one thing that has done really, really well for me on other platforms, and again, this won't be for everybody, so if you've made it this far, thank you, but if you're not interested in this topic, you don't have to watch it. But one thing that's done really well for me is discussion around confidence and what it means to be a confident woman. I think especially pairing that topic with the concept of being a content creator as a woman is really interesting because there is something kind of innately scary about taking photos and videos of yourself and posting them online as a woman and beckoning attention to yourself because we've been raised our entire lives to believe that that is vain and baseless and narcissistic, right? I think part of the reason I've found so much success with it is because so many people are divided on my level of confidence. A lot of people think that it's wonderful and it's refreshing and it's something that they can aspire to be or look up to, a lot of people see me as arrogant and narcissistic. But one thing I can confidently say, nobody disagrees on in the comments, is that I have a lot of confidence. Whether you hate it or you love it, it is a fact that I am a very confident person. And so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. I wanna tell you guys a little bit about how you can also be the confident person that you wanna be. And also I wanna tell you guys why being confident is so much easier than you're imagining that it is. Becoming the person that you want to be and exuding that type of confidence and being the type of magnetic person that you want to be is really so much simpler than I think a lot of people make it out to be. I think there's this really common misconception that if you're not very confident, the way to become confident is to spend more time with yourself, appreciate things about yourself, feel gratitude for yourself. I think that all of that is valid. However, I also think that there's one aspect that I never hear anybody talk about. I actually don't believe that most people don't have the confidence within them and that they have to gain more of it or that they have to grow it. I truly believe that everyone already has the level of confidence that they need, but they aren't allowing themselves to feel it for a series of reasons that we're going to talk about. They're burying it or they're holding it back because they feel a lot of shame for that feeling. And so once you understand why this is happening, it's going to be a lot easier for you to uncover the confidence that's already there. Okay, so why do we bury our confidence and hide it to the point that we actually trick ourselves into believing that we don't have it? There are a few reasons, but number one, especially as a woman, I think that confidence is a bit of a paradox. You are looked down upon if you're not confident. If you're an insecure woman, you're seen as needy, as annoying, as not a good fit for a partner, right? No man ever has said, I want an insecure woman. You're sold products to make you more confident, right? You need this hair product, you need this makeup, you need these shoes, you need this bag. And so you're sold this illusion that you have to be more confident than you are right now. But then the trick comes because as soon as you are, again, especially as a woman, you are knocked down for being arrogant and full of yourself and not a traditional woman, not submissive, too outspoken, too narcissistic. And so I think women in general are often trying to strike this balance of not wanting to be the insecure little girl that people are framing her to be if she doesn't show any type of confidence, but not showing so much that she's then framed as being arrogant and narcissistic. And that's a really tough thing to balance. And so women live in this space in between of just fear of being either. But the really interesting thing is I think that as a society, we have this notion that there's this spectrum, and the spectrum goes from insecurity to confident to arrogant. Meaning that if you're insecure and you gain more confidence, you become confident. And then if you gain more confidence, you become arrogant. I made a TikTok on this, but I do want to expand on it. I want to get rid of that idea altogether. I don't actually believe that that spectrum exists. And I actually don't believe that having confidence and being more confident leads to arrogance. I think arrogance and confidence are completely unrelated. Like they don't even exist on the same spectrum or the same plane. And the reason that I believe that is because when you're showing yourself self-love and you're showing yourself that confidence, you are not thinking about or commenting on anybody else. Waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror and saying, wow, like my hair looks incredible today, or I look beautiful today, or succeeding at work and being like, you know what, I'm actually really smart, I'm really resilient, I'm really capable. These are all things that we can say in our head, right? And they're kind of acceptable. But even if you woke up every day and you said that on the hour every day, you're still not commenting on anybody else, right? And arrogance and narcissism are where you literally think that you are above other people. You think that no one else can match you. You are the queen bee. You are perfect. So one doesn't lead to the other. They're unrelated. But then what ends up happening is we become afraid to vocalize those things. So even if we think them when we're in the privacy of our own home, it becomes completely socially unacceptable to voice them to anybody else, right? God forbid I'm hanging out with people and I say, I'm a really beautiful girl. And this is what gets people going, because on my social in general, I have no problem saying that I'm a beautiful girl because I know I'm a beautiful girl. People hear that and immediately their brain tricks them into thinking that that's a comment about them. Men hear it and they think that what I'm saying is that I'm better than them or that I'm better than other women. And there are implications of that. So if I think that I'm better than other women, I'm probably more likely to cheat. Or I'm probably more likely to think that I can get any guy that I want. I'm more likely to disrespect the man that I'm with. I'm more likely to look down on him and not see him as a man. But I've never said any of these things, and none of these things are true because I don't think I'm better than other people. I think I'm a beautiful girl, and I think there are many beautiful girls in the world. It's not just me. But a lot of women can hear that and have the exact same reaction of like, oh, you're a narcissist. You are so full of yourself. You are so vain. Because again, their brain is projecting and they're hearing that I think that I'm better than them. And so the reason this paradox exists of women need to be confident, but they can't show too much confidence, is because so many people hear when you are too confident, what they are actually hearing is that you think that you're better than them. And the point that I really want to hammer home in this video is that is not a you problem. The trade-off of keeping other people happy and sustained and not having delusional thoughts that you think you're better than everybody else is not worth sacrificing all of the benefits that come along with loving yourself and not being afraid to openly honor yourself, whether that be your outward beauty, your inner beauty. And I'm not gonna lie, it's going to rattle a lot of people. I think oftentimes the reason we sort of, not only just do we not show our confidence outwardly, but we'll actually go as far to talk badly about ourselves in public. I think we do that because we've created this society where people are so afraid to be seen as someone that needs to be brought back down to earth or someone that is narcissistic and needs to be checked. People don't want to be seen that way, and so they'll go out of their way to insult themselves before somebody else can insult them. And I just want to let you guys know that if that's what you are doing yourself a massive disservice. You are literally handing over the keys to your life to other people who don't matter, whose opinions are not more valid than your own. When you're at the end of your life and you're literally on your deathbed, did these people pay your rent? No. Did they love you? No. Did they do anything for you? No. You have handed over the keys to your life to people that literally don't matter. Why would you do that to yourself? And I hope that if you resonate with this message, if you resonate with this message right now, you should be feeling guilt. That is a good thing. You should be feeling guilty that you've done this to yourself. You've created this life where you're allowing other people to have that amount of power over you, and that you've wasted time letting those people dictate how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. That guilt is a good thing though, because you should not let this go on another minute of your life. So in the beginning of this video, I said that I think a lot of people actually have the confidence that they need deep down. It's just buried. If you can go and look in the mirror right now and tell yourself 3 things that you think are incredible about who you are. It can be physical, it can be intellectual, it can be personality-wise, spiritual, whatever. Ask yourself if you would feel comfortable exclaiming that to someone that you didn't know. If somebody walked up to you on the street and they said, "What do you think about yourself?" Instead of listing off all the things that you hate about yourself, would you be ready to just outwardly say, "Here's what I think about myself," and list the things that you love? If not, that right there is the proof. You already have this confidence, you already think these things, you are just scared to say it because you're afraid of the consequence. Now, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the consequence is very real. A lot of people, when you outwardly are talking positively about yourself, they're gonna have that reaction. They're gonna think that you're a narcissist, that you're arrogant, that you think that you're better than them. I wanna remind you that you don't. You don't think any of those things. And in order to dig out and uncover that confidence and allow yourself to feel it, you really need to start familiarizing yourself with this reality that you're going to need to disappoint some other people to make yourself happy and live the best life that you can live. The reason why people project and they believe that you think that you're better than them when you display this type of confidence is because they themselves are scared to do what you're doing. It comes from a place of fear, it doesn't come from a place of hatred. They know that the society that we've built would shame them for doing the same, and there's this instinct of jealousy of, why does this person get to do this but I don't? And so they do to you the exact same thing that they're afraid other people would do to them. But if I'm being honest, that is kind of weirdo behavior, right? Not once in my life have I ever heard somebody talking positively about themselves and felt the need to interject and be like, that's not true. You're not pretty, you're not smart. Because what does that have to do with me? The ironic thing is that people think that when you're talking positively about yourself, you're this narcissist. And then in the same breath, they show that they think that their opinion is more valid than yours when it comes to something having to do with you, which is a hugely narcissistic trait. The moment that you guys start recognizing this and start practicing vocalizing the positive things that you see in yourself, the easier this is going to become. I was not always like this. I always share this story that I remember from, I think, middle school, where back in middle school, we had this like anonymous question thing. I'm pretty sure it was called ask.fm. And I received my first ever hate comment. And the hate comment said something along the lines of, you think you're so beautiful and you're so perfect and you're not. And I remember being so young, but wondering what I had done to give off this impression, because back then, like, I was not confident. I sort of just existed. I didn't really think highly of myself. I didn't think poorly of myself. I was just sort of there. I racked my brain for probably 2 years. Like, this comment stuck out to me, and even now this comment sticks out to me. Wondering what I could have ever done to convince this person that I thought that highly of myself. As if it was a bad thing. Even to me at that time, I was like, I don't want to come across as if I think highly of myself. That's embarrassing, that's cringy, that's narcissistic. The fact that we think that way is so messed up. And we don't think that way because we're not confident. We think that way because we're afraid of the consequences of being confident. I realize now that there is nothing I could have done to stop that comment. This person saw me just existing in life. They saw me without the insecurities that my peers, I guess, had. They saw me just being happy, and that type of aloofness was so threatening to them because they were jealous of it. They saw me being like that and they said to themselves, why does she get to be like that if I can't? The reality is that a lot of people don't know how to put themselves on a pedestal, and the only way that they know how to bring themselves up is by bringing other people down to their level so that they feel more level with other people. And they will grasp at straws to do it. Don't let other people do that to you. You have to protect yourself. You have to be your own best friend. Why would you give that power to somebody else who would give you nothing? This person would give you absolutely nothing. So why are you giving them any power? And being confident doesn't just mean that the payoff is that you get to be confident. I promise you guys, the moment that you start practicing this and you start actually excelling at it, so many doors are gonna open for you. So many amazing things are gonna happen in your life because you're gonna have the confidence to start putting yourself in more, I'd say, risky situations where there's a higher chance of rejection, because you know that rejection is just going to roll off your back. It's not going to matter. And the more risks like that you take where there's a high chance of rejection, but also a high chance of acceptance, the more things you're going to start earning and winning for yourself. And again, I just want to bring you guys back to this idea that you could have all of this, but instead you're handing off power to people that do not care about you. Stop doing it. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this first video. Most of my videos that are coming are probably gonna be pretty similar to this. Probably not shot here. This is my boyfriend's apartment, not my own, in Miami. But a lot of my content is gonna be this kind of sit down, advice, talking through, chit chat type of style. If there's anything that you'd like me to talk about or cover, please leave me a comment down below, because I can do my best to sort of take shots in the dark, but obviously I'm rebooting this channel, and if there are things that you guys actually want to see, I'd rather like make you happy and give you what you want to see rather than just guessing. Thank you again so much for those of you who have stuck around and are actually excited to see me back, and also thank you for those of you who had no idea that I had a YouTube channel and are watching me for the first time. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in a week.